God says, listen now. Don't wait, don't delay, don't pretend you didn't feel this message calling your name. It is no accident that your eyes landed here right now. Heaven has opened a scroll that bears your name on it. A trembling, flaming seal has just been broken by the hands of Archangel Michael himself, and he shouted with a cry that echoed across the heavens, "This is an emergency. Deliver this immediately." And I was instructed not to pause, not to rest, not even to breathe until I brought this message to you. Archangel Michael says, a big tragedy is standing at the edge of your doorstep. It's not coming next year, it's not coming next week, it's already forming like a dark storm cloud, and only the hand of the divine can stop it now. Michael is trembling in fury and heartbreak because you've been warned before. The signs were already there. In your dreams, in that deep feeling in your stomach, in that strange conversation 2 nights ago that made no sense but left your heart racing, that was the angelic realm trying to reach you. You ignored it. You brushed it off. But God, in His mercy, is sending one final warning. God says, you are not cursed. You are chosen. That's why you're being attacked. That's why things keep going wrong just when they're about to go right. That's why people lie to you, betray you, smile in your face while digging the knife deeper into your back. It's not because you are weak. It's because they sense what you don't even fully understand about yourself. You are divinely marked for a destiny so big that hell itself trembles at your awakening. But now, the situation is different. Heaven is not whispering anymore. Heaven is roaring. Michael has raised his flaming sword and is standing between you and a catastrophic tragedy that is trying to strike. This is not symbolic. This is literal. A specific person, someone whose name keeps circling in your mind like a crow, has made a move in the spiritual realm that will manifest in your physical life unless you listen. Unless you act. God says, you are being watched right now, spiritually and physically. There is a conversation happening behind your back about you, and the truth is so wild, so unbelievable, that if I told you the whole thing in one breath, you would fall to the floor in shock. Archangel Michael saw it. He heard your name being mentioned in a spiritual courtroom, where accusations, some true, some false, were being hurled like daggers. And God said, no more delays. Give them this message now. You must understand, this is not a coincidence. The timing of this message is the miracle. Because the person trying to harm you is growing impatient. Something has failed in their plan, and they're going to act more recklessly now. The spiritual covering you once had has been weakening because of your silence. You keep letting certain things slide. You keep hoping people will change. You keep praying but not obeying the command that comes after the prayer. That has opened cracks, and now the enemy is crawling through them like smoke in a burning house. Archangel Michael says, do not wait for confirmation. This message is your confirmation. This message is the alarm. You need to cleanse your space. There are objects around you carrying energy from people who are not praying for your peace but plotting your pain. There is a mirror in your life that has been reflecting your pain back at you instead of showing you the light of who you truly are. You've been giving your time to the wrong voices. You've been helping those who would never lift a finger for you. You've been ignoring your own intuition because the world around you has made you believe that doubting yourself is humility. It is not. It's sabotage. And Archangel Michael is standing in front of your destiny like a warrior screaming, "I won't let you destroy yourself by ignoring the warnings again." God says, you're about to be exposed to a truth so heavy it will bend your knees. But it won't break you. It will save you. Someone in your life, someone very close, is lying to you about something that will directly affect your money, your reputation, and your peace. Their silence is hiding a weapon. And heaven has just unwrapped it. You are not crazy for feeling what you've been feeling. You are being spiritually attacked because of a seed you carry, one that can change generations if it's allowed to grow. Michael says, the next 72 hours are not normal hours. They are heavily charged. There is a massive decision being made in the heavenly realm about your future. And your next action will influence how the angels are deployed. The reason things feel so unstable is because a spiritual battle is shaking things behind the scenes. You're seeing symptoms, but the disease is hidden. And this message is revealing it to you now. God says, you have 3 enemies pretending to be your allies. You keep them close because your heart is pure, but their hands are not. And in the spiritual realm, dirty hands can still write contracts if you allow them to touch your life. I'm asking you now, not gently, but with divine authority, clean house. Spiritually, emotionally, physically. Clean house. There are numbers in your phone that are connected to demonic interference. There are conversations you've had that created soul ties. Break them. Do not wait. Do not beg. Do not explain. Move. You were not meant to live in this confusion. You were not meant to stay in this cycle of almost getting it, almost breaking through, almost being loved the way you deserve, and then being pulled back into silence and suffering. That is not your portion. That is a counterfeit life. God says, I created you for the miraculous. But you keep giving your miracle away to those who don't value what I placed inside you. Michael is weeping, but he is also roaring. He has protected you so many times without your knowledge. That near accident? That weird delay? That gut feeling? That sudden headache that kept you from going somewhere? That wasn't coincidence. That was angelic intervention. But now, the enemy has become bolder. They are no longer hiding their attacks. They are using the mouths of people you love. They are using the weakness of those you trust. And if you don't act now, the pain that is waiting will not be quiet. It will scream through your life. God says, I'm allowing this message to come through with fire because soft whispers were no longer enough. You've crossed into a season of harvest, and hell knows it. That's why the warfare is intensifying. But hear me, child of the divine, you will not be destroyed. Not if you listen. Not if you obey. There is a financial blessing being delayed because it is tied to a person who is secretly working against you. You keep wondering why money flows and then suddenly vanishes. Why opportunities open and then close without reason. The reason is spiritual entanglement. Your blessing is entangled with someone who is using your energy, your favor, and your kindness, while secretly cursing your name in spaces you don't even know about. Michael says, get ready. The veil is about to be torn. You will hear something in the next few days that will shatter your illusion of safety. It will hurt. But it will also free you. The truth will remove the leeches that have been draining your spirit. And after that, after the sorrow, will come a joy so fierce that your enemies will go blind from watching you rise. You've been told to be quiet. You've been told to not make waves. You've been trained to believe that being silent is being holy. But God is calling you to rise. To speak. To declare. To stop apologizing for your divine favor. To stop lowering your light so others can feel comfortable in their darkness. The tragedy Michael is warning about is not just physical, it is emotional, spiritual, and generational. If you allow this cycle to continue, it will impact more than just you. It will ripple through your bloodline. And that's why heaven is intervening so urgently. You are the chosen one to break this pattern. And patterns don't break by accident. They break by divine decision and courageous action. God says, I have already made provision for your escape. I have already assigned angels to clear your path. But you must take the step. I will not drag you into your blessing, you must walk into it. Even if your knees are trembling. Even if your heart is breaking. Even if the people you thought would support you begin to mock you. Go anyway. Walk anyway. Trust anyway. This moment is holy. This message is alive. And this is your turning point. Do not treat this like just another message. This is the alarm. This is the intervention. This is the moment heaven itself bends to whisper into your spirit, you are loved. You are protected. But now, you must rise. Archangel Michael has placed his hand on your shoulder even as you read this. The energy you feel around you now is not imagination. It is divine presence. Close your eyes for a moment, and you will feel it. The heat, the trembling, the sudden stillness. That is the presence of the Most High, confirming every word that has been spoken here. You are not alone. You have never been alone. You were simply distracted by illusions. But now, the illusions are being removed. The masks are falling. The shadows are dissolving. And what is coming next will be so bright, so pure, so shockingly beautiful, but only if you obey the call. Open your heart. Listen to your intuition. Cleanse your space. Cut the cords. Let go of what is not in divine alignment. And step forward. Because what was meant to harm you will now be the very thing that reveals your power. The trap is being dismantled. The enemy is being exposed. The tables are turning. And this moment, is your warning, your miracle, your divine awakening. Archangel Michael is watching. God is speaking. And now, it's your move. God says, the spiritual courtroom is still in session. Your name is echoing in realms unseen. The enemy has been making accusations, presenting lies mixed with fragments of truth, twisting your past and your weaknesses, hoping to delay your destiny once again. But Archangel Michael stood up. With a thunderous voice that silenced even the demonic mockery, he shouted, "Enough! This soul belongs to the light." And as he spoke, your name lit up in fire across the sky of heaven's record. Do you even realize how protected you've been, even when you were unaware? Do you understand how many attacks were blocked that never even reached your eyes? But now, God says, a shift is happening. A divine decision is being finalized in the realm of spirit. You have been given extra time, extra grace, and extra warnings. But you are now in a season where delay is no longer safe. Delay is dangerous. You are not being asked, you are being commanded by divine order to act. Not later. Not tomorrow. Now. There is someone around you pretending to be asleep, but they're wide awake watching every step you take. You think they don't notice your blessings. You think they haven't seen the glow in your eyes returning. But they have. And they're not happy about it. They're envious. They're quietly planning how to drain you once more. They're preparing words that sound like concern but are weapons in disguise. Don't answer every message. Don't explain every decision. Don't revisit old pain just because someone smiles at you with false kindness. The enemy knows you are a forgiving soul, that's how they keep returning. But Archangel Michael says, you are not called to be a doormat in the name of love. You are called to be a warrior of light. God is exposing a secret agreement. Two people you trusted exchanged private information about you for their own gain. One of them is still in your life, smiling like nothing happened. The other is pretending they care from a distance. They think you will never know. But heaven is revealing it now because your discernment is being reactivated. You will feel the vibration shift the next time they speak to you. You'll notice how their words are slightly off, how their tone carries tension. That's the sign. Don't ignore it this time. When your spirit winces, pay attention. That is divine instruction. The tragedy Michael warned about is still forming, like a storm cloud fed by silence and tolerance. But it can still be stopped. Yes, it can still be overturned. God has given one final order: if you purify your path now, your blessing will not be delayed. But if you keep standing in contaminated waters, what's meant for you will be redirected to someone else. God is not punishing you, He's training you. He's teaching you the value of your own soul, the weight of your destiny, and the cost of your alignment. You have cried in silence. You've walked rooms with people who didn't see your pain. You've kept quiet while being disrespected. You've swallowed your voice for the sake of peace. But that was survival. Now it's time to live. Now it's time to roar. You were never made to blend in with lies. You were never meant to kneel before manipulation. You are chosen, royal, sacred. And when you rise, entire bloodlines will rise with you. God says, you've been marked by betrayal more than once. But this betrayal is different. It's strategic. It's spiritual. And it came from someone you never expected. That's why this moment is so critical. This is not just an emotional wound. This betrayal opened a door. And through that door walked in confusion, fear, indecision, and chaos. Shut the door now. Shut it with prayer, with fasting, with obedience. Cut off the soul ties. Purge the bitterness. Block the access. Heaven is watching. Angels are waiting. Michael's sword is burning with intensity. But even he cannot act unless you agree with heaven's plan for you. That's the divine law. God gave you the gift of choice. Now you must choose. Stay in false peace, or walk into divine purpose. You've already seen glimpses of what you're capable of. You've already felt the fire inside your belly. That deep, aching knowing that you were made for more. You've heard the whispers when no one was around. You've sensed the presence in the room when you prayed. You felt the invisible hands wipe your tears at 3 a.m. That was not your imagination. That was heaven proving, you are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. But God says, if you don't step up now, the enemy will take advantage of your hesitation. There's someone trying to step into your identity. Someone trying to duplicate your energy. They are watching your style, your voice, your light. They want your favor without paying your price. But God will not allow impostors to reign in places where only His true child belongs. Still, you must walk into your place. If you abandon your calling, someone else will try to claim it. And they will fail. But you will suffer too. Michael is crying because he sees your potential clashing with your habits. He sees how much favor surrounds you, but also how much of it is left unused because you keep lowering yourself for people who wouldn't even lift you if you fell. This is no longer acceptable. Heaven is demanding a shift. This is your hour of exposure. Your enemies are about to be seen. Their masks will fall off in public. They will say things they didn't mean to say. They will slip. They will contradict themselves. And you will know. But do not seek revenge. Do not engage. Just watch. Observe. Then walk away. The light of God is going to illuminate your path in a way that leaves no space for confusion. The relationship you've been unsure about, clarity is coming. The job that drains you, truth is being revealed. The person who ghosted you then returned when they saw you doing better. They will expose their real motive soon. Just be silent and let heaven work. Do not fight a battle that angels have already taken over. The emergency isn't just what's coming. The emergency is also what you're holding onto that heaven is trying to remove. You keep asking God to send a new thing, but you haven't released the old poison. You're drinking from a cup that looks clean on the outside but is laced with bitterness at the bottom. Let it go. Throw it out. Make room for the divine. God says, you are about to be restored. Fully. Radically. Visibly. But first, the illusion must collapse. The tower of lies must fall. And that will feel like destruction, but it's divine demolition. A clearing. A sacred collapse so that the truth can take its rightful place. Archangel Michael says, prepare. Prepare spiritually. Prepare emotionally. Prepare practically. There's a relocation coming, maybe physical, maybe spiritual, maybe relational. But something in your life will move. Suddenly. Don't resist it. Don't try to cling to comfort. God doesn't do miracles in cages. You must walk into the unknown with faith. You've prayed for a sign. This is the sign. You've asked for a message. This is the message. You've cried for clarity. This is the clarity. Now act. Obey. Trust. God says, if you take one bold step of obedience in the next 24 hours, I will cause 3 breakthroughs to collide in your life. 3. 1 will restore your peace. 1 will heal your heart. And 1 will transform your future. But it requires faith. It requires sacrifice. It requires release. The pain you've endured has not been wasted. The nights you almost gave up, the mornings you forced yourself out of bed, the days you smiled while your heart shattered, all of it has been witnessed by heaven. And now the scroll of your tears is being opened, and God is reading every line aloud in the spiritual realm. This one did not quit. This one kept believing. This one deserves divine reward. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not too far behind. You are exactly where this message needed to find you. You are still covered. Still protected. Still favored. But you must move. You must release. You must awaken. Because the tragedy can still be turned into triumph. The betrayal can still become a blessing. The chaos can still birth your calling. But it depends on what you do next. Heaven is silent now. Waiting. Watching. Will you answer? Will you act? Will you rise? Archangel Michael is ready. The angels are ready. God is ready. And now, the only question left is, are you? God says, listen closely now. This is not a coincidence. It is no accident that your eyes are reading this very message at this very moment. Your soul has been crying out, reaching into the heavens for answers, and this is your answer. This message was sent directly to you by divine timing, because heaven knew you needed to see it now. There is something happening behind your back, something building silently, and you felt it in your spirit. That unease, that unrest, that storm in your chest, it's real. Archangel Michael is standing by your side now, sword drawn, commanding your attention, because this cannot wait. This is your warning. This is your calling. This is your divine instruction. And if you ignore it, it will hurt more than you can imagine. God says, a big tragedy is coming your way, not because you did anything wrong, but because forces have been working in secret to break you, deceive you, and rob you of what is yours. Someone has been whispering your name in a dark place. Someone is pretending to love you while setting traps behind the scenes. Their intentions are not what they show. They have been smiling in your face, but behind closed doors, they are pouring poison into the ears of others. Archangel Michael has been watching all of it silently, hoping you would see it before it's too late. But now it has reached the point where heaven must intervene directly, because your destiny is in danger. And time is running out. God says, you must open your heart and spirit right now. Listen, don't brush this off. There are people around you who have been playing roles, wearing masks, hiding their true colors. One of them has made a deal with darkness. One of them is even using your picture, your name, and your kindness for something evil. They are not just gossiping about you, they are forming something destructive. A betrayal is being finalized. An attack is being prepared. But you are not alone. Heaven sees it all. Archangel Michael says, I order you to open your soul and listen to this message now. This is not a suggestion. This is not a casual thought. This is an urgent spiritual command. If you skip this message or delay it, the pain that will follow will break something deep within you. You'll ask later, why didn't I listen when God was trying to tell me? This is the moment where your spiritual ears must open. A major loss is being planned, but it can still be stopped. God does not want this tragedy to touch you. But you must act now. You must wake up. You must stop letting your love blind you to people's true intentions. You must stop giving second and third chances to those who would sacrifice you to save themselves. God says, the people closest to you are not always the ones who deserve to be near your heart. Someone in your circle is a Judas. Someone you would protect with your life is hiding something that would destroy you. They were warned by the Holy Spirit to come clean. They were given signs. But they hardened their heart and continued their game. And now their time is up. Heaven has pulled back the curtain. The truth is being revealed. Archangel Michael has seen your tears. You have cried in silence, wondering why things have been feeling off, why people have been distancing themselves, why some doors are closing. You thought it was your fault. You blamed yourself. But God says, it was them. It was always them. You just didn't want to believe it. But your spiritual eyes are opening now, and what you're about to see will shock you. The one you trusted the most is part of the plan to see you fall. But the enemy's plan is about to be destroyed. God says, you are protected. But protection without awareness is like a sword left on the ground during battle. You must pick it up. You must stand up. You must speak when it's time to speak and walk away when I say walk away. There is no more time to waste. There is no more room for hesitation. You've been asking for a miracle, and this message is part of that miracle. This is divine intelligence from heaven's throne room. Someone is going to try to contact you in the next few days with a false apology. Do not fall for it. This person is only returning because their secrets are about to be exposed. They want to control the narrative before the truth comes out. They'll pretend to care. They'll say it was a misunderstanding. But heaven says, do not let them back into your energy. Their return is a trap. If you let them in again, you will lose something that cannot be replaced. And your spirit will weep. Archangel Michael is guarding your path now. He has stood in front of you, blocking arrows you didn't even know were aimed at you. You were walking straight into a spiritual ambush, and only divine intervention stopped it. Someone was using your kindness as a weapon against you. But God has shut that weapon down. However, the person behind it is still active. And if you allow them close again, they will finish what they started. God says, I need you to take this moment seriously. This is a divine appointment. This is a heavenly message wrapped in urgency. If you're reading this, it's not too late, but the clock is ticking. You must protect your mind, your heart, and your space. You must start praying like never before. Not because God is far, but because you need spiritual clarity. The fog of manipulation is thick around you, but the moment you pray, it begins to lift. Archangel Michael says, he is ready to fight for you, but he needs you to listen. Do not go back to the place that broke you. Do not give your love to those who only love your light but despise your soul. Some people want to be around you just to say they were connected to your blessings, but they do not want to protect your purpose. Some are obsessed with your calling but hate your spirit. Some are jealous of your favor but smile when you're looking. Heaven says, no more. God says, I've already begun removing people from your life. That's why some of them left suddenly. That's why some relationships didn't work out. You thought you were losing something, but you were actually being saved. They couldn't go where I was taking you. They didn't have the character to protect the blessing I'm placing in your hands. If you had kept them, they would have destroyed everything I'm preparing for you. But now is the time for you to step fully into obedience. Don't half listen. Don't say, maybe later. You don't have time for later. You are standing at the edge of a divine shift. A spiritual earthquake is coming, and you are at the epicenter. The fake ones will fall away. The truth will rise. And the blessing will come to the ones who were faithful, who listened, who trusted, even when it hurt. Archangel Michael says, open your spirit. Right now. Don't delay. This is your final warning before the reveal begins. A message is coming to you in a strange way, a dream, a phone call, or a message from someone unexpected. Do not ignore it. Hidden truth is about to be spoken. And once it's said, everything will change. People will show their real faces. Those who were pretending will panic. And those who truly love you will stand stronger than ever. God says, I am not giving you this message to scare you, I am giving it to you to prepare you. What you do next will decide whether you rise in glory or cry in regret. If you walk away from what I'm showing you now, the pain will be multiplied. But if you trust me, if you obey me, if you follow my voice in this moment, you will walk into a miracle that no man, no enemy, no jealous spirit can stop. God says, your name is being lifted in heavenly places. The very thing they tried to bury is the thing I will use to crown you. The lies they told will become the proof of my power. The betrayal they planned will become the table I prepare before them. The heartbreak they caused will become the doorway to your divine union. But only if you trust me now. Only if you obey me now. Only if you open your heart fully now. Archangel Michael says again, I am speaking through this message. This is no ordinary text. This is your wake-up call. Your spiritual alarm. Your divine lifeline. You have suffered long enough. You have been silent long enough. You have been betrayed long enough. But now, justice is coming. The heavens are moving. The truth is rising. And your name, yes, your name, is about to be cleared, celebrated, and protected. God says, begin to pray now. Not out of fear, but out of alignment. Speak the names of those you're unsure about. Ask me to reveal their true hearts. I will show you. I will not leave you in confusion. But you must be willing to see the truth, even if it hurts. Because once you see it, I will heal it. Once you let go, I will restore double. Once you obey, I will release blessings that have been held back for years. This is your hour. This is your divine instruction. This is your turning point. What was sent to destroy you is being reversed. What was hidden from you is being exposed. What was stolen from you is being returned. But you must open this message with your heart, not just your eyes. Let it sink in. Let it awaken you. Let it break every chain of confusion. Archangel Michael stands with you now. He is weeping with power, crying out for you to see the truth before it's too late. Heaven is on your side. The war is already won in the spirit. Now it's time to walk it out on earth. Do not fear. Do not delay. Do not go backward. The time has come. And God says, I am with you until the very end. You are safe, chosen, protected, and victorious. Trust me. Pray to me. Obey me. And you will not cry in sorrow, you will weep in joy. Let it begin. Now. God says, breathe. Just breathe. You have been through so much in silence. You have cried alone. You have pretended to be strong when everything inside you was collapsing. But I saw it. I counted every tear. I heard every unspoken prayer. Even the ones you whispered in your heart because your voice was too broken to speak. I never left you. I never ignored you. I was simply waiting for the right time. And this is that time. This is the divine moment you were never supposed to miss. Heaven is moving everything in your favor now, but the enemy knows this. That is why there has been so much confusion, so many sudden delays, so many unexpected attacks. The enemy is terrified of what happens when you finally step into your true identity. When you fully realize who you are, whose you are, and what I've called you to do, darkness trembles. That's why you've been targeted. Not because you're weak, but because you are powerful. You carry something rare. You carry something holy. You carry something the enemy cannot duplicate. And that's why they tried to silence you. Archangel Michael says, I have seen the plot. I have heard their plans. They thought you would never know. They thought they covered their tracks well. But heaven sees everything. I've been assigned to fight this battle with you. But you must do your part. You must stop ignoring your instincts. You must stop doubting what your spirit keeps warning you about. The voice that whispers in your soul when something feels wrong, that's not paranoia. That's divine protection. That's me. That's God. God says, one person who has access to your life right now should have been removed long ago. I've given you signs. I've made you uncomfortable around them. I've even allowed minor disappointments to show you who they really are. But you still gave them the benefit of the doubt. You still believed they would change. You kept holding on, thinking your love would fix it. But their heart has been hardened. And if you don't walk away now, their curse will become your consequence. This isn't about hate. This is about holiness. This is about your calling. This is about your destiny. You've been asking me to bless you, to elevate you, to protect you, but that means I must separate you from what's not aligned. Elevation requires isolation. Sometimes I have to break your heart to protect your soul. You may feel the pain of letting go now, but it will never compare to the pain of holding on to what was sent to destroy you. Archangel Michael says, someone is watching you secretly. They are trying to mirror your behavior, your ideas, your light, but they don't have your spirit. Their motive is competition, not connection. They want what you have, but they don't want to pay the price you paid. They don't want to carry the cross you carried. And they're getting close enough to study your movements, not to support you, but to use you. Do not reveal everything. Do not share your next move. Some doors must be walked through in silence. Some miracles must happen in private. God says, the tragedy that was forming in the background has been delayed because of your prayers, your faith, your tears. But this delay is not permanent unless you make the right choices now. The enemy will try again. They will disguise their attacks in flattery. They will come pretending to support you. But my spirit will give you the discernment to know what's real. Trust that. Do not second guess what I show you, even if it hurts. Your heart has been too generous. You've poured into others even when your cup was empty. You've believed in people who didn't even believe in themselves. You've stood up for people who would never defend you in return. But now, I am pouring into you. I am filling your cup again. I am strengthening your legs again. I am anointing your mind again. Because your next season requires a version of you that is spiritually sharp, emotionally wise, and divinely grounded. Archangel Michael says, you are being summoned into spiritual maturity. This is not the time to play small. This is not the time to shrink back. You are being called to rise, not because you are better than others, but because you are chosen to lead. You are chosen to break generational patterns. You are chosen to birth something new. And you cannot carry this assignment while surrounded by betrayal. That's why God is cleaning your circle. God says, I am not just removing people, I'm removing access. Some people may still be in your life physically, but they won't have the same power over your emotions. They won't have the same influence over your decisions. Because I am taking back what you gave them in weakness. I am restoring your authority. I am renewing your strength. And I am awakening the warrior in you that you tried to bury to keep the peace. The time for pretending is over. The time for being passive is over. You must take this moment seriously. You must guard your purpose like never before. Because what's coming next is so divine, so powerful, so abundant, that the enemy will try again to distract you. But this time, you won't be shaken. This time, you'll recognize the trap. This time, you'll remember this message and walk in wisdom. Archangel Michael says, do not let your loneliness lead you back to what nearly destroyed you. You are not abandoned, you are being protected. Some rejections were divine redirections. Some breakups were blessings. Some delays were actually shields. If you had gotten what you wanted when you wanted it, it would have broken you. But now, you're stronger. Now, you're wiser. Now, you're ready for what heaven is about to release. God says, your blessing is closer than you think. The very thing you almost gave up on is about to appear. The answer you've been crying for is about to knock on your door. But will you be ready? Will you be in alignment? Or will you still be clinging to what I already told you to let go of? This is your moment to choose. Choose healing. Choose obedience. Choose purpose. Choose truth. Someone will try to return into your life soon. And they'll seem different. They'll say the right words. But something will feel off. That feeling is not confusion. That's your discernment. Listen to it. I didn't give you a strong spirit just to ignore it. I gave it to you to protect you from what smiles at you but wants to see you fall. Archangel Michael says, the next 7 days are crucial. You will notice shifts. Some people will distance themselves without explanation. Let them.